I am still filled with the gall of bitterness, and I feel sure that you, my good, kind father, will sympathize with me. My patience has been so long tried that it has at last given way. I have no longer the misfortune to be in the Salzburg service, and today is a happy day for me. 3 times already has I know not what to call him. He has said the most insulting and impertinent things to my face, which I dare not repeat to you from the wish to spare your feelings, and I only refrain from taking my revenge on the spot because I always had you, my dear father, before my eyes. He called me a knave and a dissolute fellow, and told me to take myself off, and I endured it all, though I felt that not only my own honour, but yours was aggrieved by this. But as you would have it so, I was silent. Now, hear what passed. 8 days ago the messenger came to me quite unexpectedly, and said I must instantly leave my lodgings. Apparently due notice had been given to the others, but not to me. I packed up my things hurriedly, and old Madam Weber was so kind as to take me into her house, where I have a pretty room, and am with obliging people, ready to supply me at once with all that I require. Not so easy to procure when you're quite alone. I fixed my journey for Wednesday the 9th, this very day, with the post-carriage. Not being able, however, in the interim to collect the money I have yet to receive, I postponed my journey till Saturday. And when I went to the Archbishop today, the valet told me that the prince meant to give me a packet to take charge of.
Ah, Wolfgang, you're just the man I wish to see.
Oh, really? Whatever for, sir? If I might be so inclined to inquire.
The Archbishop Colloredo has a packet here which you ought to take charge of and deliver at once. Here.
Ooh, goodness, are these a rather pressing task at the moment? Can they not wait? I have other matters I had wished to discuss with the Archbishop.
Can they wait?
All I asked was whether it was pressing, on which he said yes, and it was of great importance.
Indeed not. What you hold in your hands is of the utmost importance.
And what I have to say to the Archbishop is equally of great importance. Can you not find another soul to carry this heaping burden where it's meant to go? It's heavy, and my arms tire of the load, and I regret to be truthful that I can no longer assist the Archbishop with his tasks.
Whatever do you mean by that?
If you had but let me explain myself, sir, I came here not to be worked like a dancing monkey, but to speak to the Archbishop. I'm resigning from my position of servitude, as I was so informed this morning that I've been asked to leave my lodgings. I regret that I cannot have the honour of being of use to His Highness on this occasion, for, owing to particular reasons which I mentioned, he told me I am not to leave till this Saturday, a feat of which I shall abide by, but wished to have one final discussion with Colloredo before I was off.
Well, as you can see, he's not here, but you are welcome to come back a while later and speak to the Archbishop then.
Indeed I will.
Herr Mozart?
When I went to the Archbishop, I must tell you that Shlakiia, one of the valets, advised me to make the excuse that the carriage was full, for that would be a valid reason in his eyes.
Mozart, please! Hold on but for a moment!
I'm afraid I have no time for petty gab at the moment. Make it quick if you must.
Indeed I shall! I was hoping I'd see you, sir, for I've heard of your predicament with the Archbishop, and I'm sorry to see you being dismissed.
It seems practically everyone knew I'd been dismissed, except me, for I only found out about it this morning.
Indeed, we were informed. But it's a shame you've got to go. I quite enjoyed your jests, Herr Mozart. However, if you're to speak to Colloredo, allow me to offer you this. You must give him a proper reason for your delayed departure. Otherwise, I fear he may not speak to you.
A wise suggestion. When I entered the room, the first thing the Archbishop said was,
Mozart? Such a surprise to see you here. I had thought you'd have been off by now. Or weren't you informed that you're to clear your belongings and find lodgings outside the order?
I beg your pardon for the intrusion, sir. Indeed, I intended to have gone tonight, but every place in the post-carriage is already engaged.
There's nothing I can do for that. And you no longer work for me, or don't you recall the offense you've caused? Thus, you cannot stay here any longer. You've outlived your welcome with such callous disregard for my authority.
Yes, sir. Please accept my letter of resignation.
I suppose I shall. As you cannot stay here, where are you going now, young fellow?
I couldn't say, sir. Perhaps, however, your grace would assist me with a word or two. I know our relationship has dwindled due to my, cause of offence towards you. But surely you could provide a letter for future employment, sir?
A letter?
Then it came out of him, all in one breath, that I was the most dissipated fellow he knew.
A letter? For a wretched and spoiled scamp such as you? You're a damned scoundrel, asking of such a selfish request. As God is my witness, young man, I shan't give you an ounce of sympathy, nor a word. No word can do justice for the vulgar, roguish, and incompetent attitude which you've displayed towards myself and my brethren. Take yourself off, I say.
No man served him so badly as I did, and he recommended for me to set off the same day, or else he would write home to stop my salary. Please, sir, I beg of you, don't. All I ask is for one word. Just one. I need your recommendation in order to...
I've had enough of your vulgar and snivelling tongue. It's unbecoming. Leave this place and my sight before you force my hand, damned ragamuffin.
It was impossible to get in a syllable, for his words blazed away like a fire. I heard it all with calmness. He actually told me to my face the deliberate falsehood that I had a salary of 500 florins. Called me a ragamuffin, a scamp, a rogue. Oh, I really cannot write all he said. At last, my blood began to boil. And I said, "Your grace does not appear to be satisfied with me. But hear me well, sir, for you will regret this endeavour. On the honour of myself and of my father, rest assured you shall rue the day you let go of me."
You dare to threaten me, you bloody rascal. Well then, there's the door. I ask of you to use it, And I tell you, I will have nothing more to do with a scoundrel such as thee.
Nor I with you, you pompous snake!
Begone!
Our accord is settled, and you shall have it tomorrow in writing. Adieu, your holiness. I put it to you, my dear father, if I was not rather too late in saying this than too soon. My honour is more precious to me than all else, and I know it is the same to you. Be under no anxiety on my account. I am so sure of success here that for a much less cause I would have given up my situation. I have, besides, 3 different times had good reason to do so, till such treatment seemed to become quite a matter of course. I was twice called a cowardly fellow, so I was resolved not to deserve the name a 3rd time. However, so long as the Archbishop remains here, I will not give a concert. I ask of you, do not write to me again to the Duce's house, nor enclose my letters in their parcel. I want to have nothing more to do with Salzburg. I hate the Archbishop to madness. Write to me at Peter's im Org Grottes on the 2nd floor. Let me have your approval, for that alone is wanting to my present happiness. Faithfully your loving son, W.A. Mozart. Yes, do come in.
Pardon the interruption, Herr Mozart, but Mama wishes for you to know that supper will soon be served.
Huh? Oh, of course. I shall join you all shortly.
Very good. Adieu for now, sir.
I suppose I shan't delay heading down for dinner. After all, Madame Weber doesn't approve of such tardiness.
And Mozart is a mysterious and rather curious man. He's only just arrived in our lodgings this past week, and on the rare occasion he leaves that bedroom of his, mainly for supper, as we rarely cross paths otherwise, I can tell he's been troubled by burdens. He speaks passionately and forwardly at dinner, upon unpleasant dealings with this Archbishop, Colloredo, and seems this man whom, as I gather from Herr Mozart's expressive eyes, has caused a great deal of damage and hurt. On this particular evening, and quite unexpectedly, after dinner I found him in the parlour room, standing near the roaring fireplace with a glass of wine in his hand, staring at a picture of my father. From his distant gaze and demure stature, he looked rather lost in the depths of his thoughts, and my unsatisfied curiosity can't help being piqued what he was thinking on. It's a rather good likeness, don't you think, Herr Mozart?
Huh? What? Oh, Madame Weber, it's you. Forgive me, I was pondering the silly little things, to be truthful.
I see.
My sincerest condolences for your grief, Miss Weber. I imagine you miss him a great deal.
I do miss Papa, and, if I'm honest, he had much to say of you in the days since we parted so long ago from your company in Mannheim.
Oh, well, I did have an inkling of an interest in your sister, Aloysia, though I imagine that didn't please him.
Aloysia. We're all talented in our own ways, my 4 sisters and I, but Aloysia shined like the brightest star in the darkest of skies. And I too, while I don't wish to sound boastful, have my own musical gifts. However, my mother scarcely seemed to notice these efforts of mine. Nothing done for her or my sisters is ever enough. I believe you were far more a pleasure to Papa than Lange ever was.
Ah, Herr Lange. Truthfully, the life of an actor sounds terribly elitist to me. It sounds suffocating and selfish to me. Having people parade about you as if you're something special. Not that I wouldn't know any different to him, I suppose.
Oh. Do you feel life as a musician is one of suffocation?
Quite the contrary. But unlike that of an actor's, my work is more than simple stage makeup and fancy movements. Tell me, do the two of them, Aloysia and Lange, at least share their wealth?
Hardly. With Aloysia off gallivanting and married, and Papa's sudden passing, would barely make ends meet. She's a true talent, my sister, and the talent could bring the ducats pouring in, but that isn't the case these days.
An unfortunate affair, it sounds like.
Indeed. The three of us are lucky we haven't frightened all whom hear our voices away. I believe we pale in comparison to hers. You know, she's saying like a well-trained canary, while the three of us squawk like geese upon a river. Goodness me, I do believe that's quite a ridiculous picture, isn't it?
A little, I'll admit. Although, you're a delightful amusement, Miss Weber. Squawking geese. But while it is true, your elder sister is a talented soul, and perhaps, as you say, a canary. Yourself, Sophia, and Josephina hardly deserve such petty dismissal.
I'm humbled that you think so fondly of our gifts, Mozart.
Of course. I've heard you all sing and play beautifully since our earliest meetings back in Mannheim, and I mean every word. I believe it would be unwise to think that one stands above the others, Madame Weber.
I find myself perplexed. Mother tells me often that I can hardly do enough for her, and that my musical inclination will never be close to that of Loisia's. On top of that, she spoils my other sisters, Sophie and Josephina, and rails against me. Yet, here stands a man who has been enthralled by my elder sister, much like the whole world had been. This candle is astounding. Furthermore, given the things circling around about Herr Mozart and all that's been said, he's quite baffled me in the present moment. Indeed, quite to the contrary of belief, Herr Mozart is a kind soul, and I see it in his eyes as he looks at me, though I think I can scarcely imagine it to be true, that he thinks and sees something of value before him. The question of importance, however, is, does he think something of me? Is there belief, for once in my life, that I too can shine in that lonely sky, like Aloysia had?
Well, I had best retire to my chambers for the evening. There's much to tackle yet tomorrow.
Of course. Will you require anything else, sir?
Not at all. Your company and kindness have been plenty, and I bid you a good night, Miss Weber.
Indeed. Good night, Herr Mozart.
Oh, my head. Oh, who do they think they are talking to me like that? Like a ragamuffin? Oh, it's cold. Cold. Oh, it's cold. Cold, cold. Oh. Where the devil am I? Oh, stupid city. Why do there have to be so many streets? Oh, where am I? Oh, stupid street, stupid city. Why does it have to be so big? So many streets. Oh, infuriating. Oh, my head. Steady on. Not my jacket. Oh. Okay, I can do this. Just walk in a straight line. Oh.
Mother and my sisters elected to go out tonight, and I was fed up with their prattle from the day, so I chose to stay home and wash up and tidy. I had it in my mind to get in some practice of a solo I was enjoying by an Italian composer I'd recently discovered. The name of the man escapes me at the moment, but I found myself mid-lyric, my attentions pulled away when suddenly I hear the front door of the house being opened and closed in a hurry. From beyond the drawing room, where I find myself, there comes an audible groan of pain and sudden thud against the wooden floorboard. Whoever had entered this house seems to have collapsed, and without a moment to lose, though I imagine my mother would say it was foolish to assume there was no danger, I hurried to the location of the noise with a quickness in my step. Mozart?
Constanze?
Heavens help me, what happened to you? You're soaked to the bone. Oh dear, you're burning up.
You... like a canary. Squawking geese, indeed. So many streets, and so little time. Such a big city. Why does the floor have to be so rough and coarse?
I'll be all right now. You're all right now. Heavens, I hope you can hear me.
Madam Weber. Ah, merci.
Of course. What happened? You're trembling and pale, sir. You've given me quite a scare.
The Archbishop has formally dismissed me. He belittled and lambasted me, had his valet kick me right out of the anteroom, and by the first act of the opera I was still to give, I felt sick. I stumbled through the streets as if I were some drunken fool. I'm deeply sorry to have frightened you so, Madam Weber. You must think poorly of me, the state I'm in.
It would be a cruel act to think such things, Mozart. Truly. I think you've been dealt a great deal of trouble with this Archbishop. I've heard your ravings against him at dinner, and today's events, I imagine, was too much. It appears as such to me.
I beg of your discretion, Madam Weber. You mustn't breathe a word of this to your mother nor sisters.
I shan't. You have my word.
Good. In that regard, you should leave me to deal with this alone. After all, what would your family think? You, a bright woman caring for a wounded fool whose pride begot a fit of
I
illness?
suppose they would think very little. Besides, they don't think much of me, or what I do.
Rubbish. All what they do and don't think of you. I think you're kind, and I see how hard you work. Poppycock, I say, on old Madam Weber, and her tongue at that.
And, as you're our guest, I can't leave you while you're alone and unwell.
Miss Weber, I insist.
And I insist that you allow me to help you. You've been through much, and we regard you as a delight in this house. At least, I do. Think of it as repaying what was broken with Aloysia all those years ago.
Miss Weber, you owe me nothing. Your family took me in and allowed me lodgings. It's quite enough.
I know that, but sometimes I think on how my elder sister hurt you, and I didn't appreciate such a kind disregard for you. It's that time writing those arias and gifting her stage to sing upon, to treat you in such a courteous manner, why My apologies for my raised voice, Mozart. It was forward and unbecoming of me.
You're forgiven.
But I do feel obligated to show you better hospitality than she did.
I'm baffled, but grateful you feel so strongly. And grateful for your care, Miss Weber.
I am humbled to assist. Now then, I'll grab you some water and return. It should help, and I won't be but a moment, I swear. Easy now, not too fast. We're going to take care of you. I promise, Mozart.
Thank you.
Of course. This should help a little.
Perhaps it's the fever or my current state of mind, but I swear she looks like an angel in this dim light. She's absolutely beautiful, and her heart is kind. She's unexpected. Once again, completely unexpected. And she puzzles me.
Now then, I think, if I may, we should get you out of those stuffy clothes.
I think I can manage that, madam.
Oh, goodness me, my apologies. I didn't mean to seem as if I was suggesting impropriety, sir, or that you're less than capable of dressing yourself. I only meant an offer to assist you, given you felt unwell. I would hate for you to fall again, sir.
No harm done, madam. It's all right. I could use a little help, I won't lie. Goodness, it feels like I'm being tossed about on a rocky carriage ride.
You can sit down if you feel unwell.
I certainly do.
Where are your night clothes, sir?
The locker at the foot of the bed. I keep most of what little I have in there.
I'll go now so you can slip into your night clothes, sir. But if you do need me, please shout. I'm only down the hall, and I'll help if you need be.
Certainly. I'll be sure to do so, Miss Weber. She's quite a puzzle to me, Miss Constanze Weber. But she's a kind and charming puzzle, yes indeed. She makes me laugh, and I'm grateful she was here. There's something about her that makes my heart flutter. What a puzzle indeed.
Thank you for listening to Faithfully Yours Mozart. Written, produced, and directed by Faith Jacobs. Featuring the voice talents of Jack Moorby as Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Emma Nicolau as Constanze Weber, Ross K. Foad as the Valet, Mark Stiel as Archbishop Colloredo, Joanna Robertson as the Valet, and Faith Jacobs as Sophie Weber. Additional music and sound provided by freesound.org. This is a work of fiction inspired by the real life of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and rate, and be on the lookout for the official full series coming in 2024. And until next time, show the whole world that you are not afraid.